Hello. Hello.
Hello.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
To you, because nowadays everything is available in the fingertips. They can go to the Google, they can find out everything. If you are interesting, then only, if your teaching practices is interesting, then only they will listen to you. As for example, you might be knowing, when a child sit in front of a TV watching a Doraemon channel, what happens in that case? You can understand the eyelashes of the child does not goes down. Why? Because that channel becomes interesting for him. When that becomes interesting, the child listen to the TV or listen or watch the TV perfectly without any disturbance, even if not putting the eyelashes. That sort of teacher needs to be developed. So I want your teacher, this NCF or the National Education Policy says our teaching should be amazing. Teaching should be to the, the way, which is required for the small children. It is required to be interesting for the small children so that globally they can compete. So these global children,
At large. Time has come when we drop our hats of saying I'm an IB principal and I'm IGCSE principal and I'm a CBSE principal. I think a time has come when we say we all are educators here to make a difference, and I can see all the smiles. Guwahati, Northeast India, everyone here, thank you for welcoming us and having this conference. You all can click as many pictures as possible, but don't forget this moderator may come up with a question from the audience also. So mobile सिर्फ photograph के लिए use करना, not to catch up on your WhatsApp and your Googles and all that, Let's focus on these three ladies, what they have to say. While we were wondering and thinking about it, I was just writing down that the National Education Policy 2020 clearly states the vision of them.
Thank you, Early Childhood Association, for giving me this opportunity and platform to speak on a very important topic, which is anger. And this is something that we at Child Guidance Center of National Institute of Public Cooperation and Child Development Regional Center, Guwahati, have been dealing with every day. To start with, anger is a natural emotion that the child expresses when he is in any kind of a stress or there is stressors present in the environment. The stress could be hunger or stress could be simple parent-child interaction. It becomes a concern when, because of anger, the child is restricted from participating in daily activities, he is not able to explore, or if anger causes bodily harm to the child. It can also become a concern if the child's intensity and frequency of anger increases over a period of time. So to answer to your question, Manavi ma'am, like what educators can do, educators have a very important role, and the pivotal role that they can play is by helping to create an ecosystem for the child where the child can participate, where the child gets opportunity to explore, and an environment which is devoid of any kind of a stressor. Let me explain this with an example, a very simple example for you to understand. For example, if the child is devoid of any early childhood stimulation, obviously when he is in a preschool, which is although non-formal, but in the process of preparing the child for school readiness, the child might come across difficulties of adjustment, building the skills of literacy, numeracy and so on. And when he is having the difficulties, because of that, the child may have shame, the child may develop guilt, and that may lead to frustration in him, and that he may express in the form of anger. Hence, early childhood stimulation therefore holds a very important role when we talk about management of anger. Now, what more role educators can play? Educators can help teachers and parents build, sensitize parents about the patterns of child development and ways through which they can create an environment where the child can participate. Educators can also help build an alliance between the teacher and the parent to collaborate, so that, when they are working with children, they are not only focusing on the outcome of the child learning outcome, but also in the process, how can children, so in the process of child development, again let me try to explain this with
and higher secondary school education, just because that it is the most area where it is not, technology is not explored to the extent of what we're going to show here today. And as you rightly pointed out, hindrances, challenges, hindrances, blocking issues, there were plenty. So in last 4 years, with the part of collaborating with CED Foundation, we have been working together with a lot of schools, academic mentors, educators across the country, and we have piloted the product that we are going to show you in more than 100 plus schools in India, and today it is a commercial product that schools are using today for their day-to-day learning activity. So Sena's ma'am has seen us in various events, and she has been asking us to come to Guwahati. Time was not appropriate. Ma'am, we are here today. So I'm going to show you quickly what SmartEdge does. Before that, this is something which, as a CBSE schools, you may be aware that your competency objectives for the upcoming year, grade 11 and 12, is structured in this way according to the Bloom's classification, where competency, conceptual and constructed. So predominantly MCQ objective and long and short descriptive answers, right? And then grade 10 is again structured in this way. This is no brainer, it is there available. I've just taken the latest CBSE circular. Where we will play a bigger role is we can cover all of these in your classroom assessments, both objective and descriptive. That's very important. So there are every solution that you will see in the country that will be on MCQ or automated basis or objective basis. You would have not seen across descriptive grading or descriptive handling as such. So whatever the kids write in the class, be it a unit test, be it a formative assessment, be it a small slip test that you do it on a weekly basis, this can be graded using artificial intelligence, using our application, and that's what we're going to talk about. So we do your, so basically we need to understand what is your target for the quality assessment with respect to your school. You understand baselining. Once you do baseline, once we implement, achieving target will be a straightforward job for you. So deep grade is the product that we are talking about. It uses a lot of technical jargons over here. It's a one product which covers a lot of artificial intelligence. If you're teaching AI in school, then you may recall these something like deep learning, machine learning, natural language programming, computer vision. All of these are blended together. So in simple, what we do is whatever the kids write in the class, we use a scanner to convert them into digital. We use something called natural language programming. We understand the meaning of what kid has written, context and meaning of the answers. Very simple. Once we understand the meaning of what kids have written, we would be able to precisely tell you that here are the points that kids are able to understand and here are the points that kids are not able to understand. And that's your inputs and insight for your remedial planning. Now you decide as teachers and head of management, how do you want to reteach this particular topic? You want to use AR/VR, you want to use experimental learning, what is the methodology that is left to you? But holistically, here is the problem area. At a question level, we will identify. There are various kind of assessment that can be done through deep grade, just a snapshot. Depends on how positioning your school is and how you want to go behind it. You want to do just OMR like a NEET JEE kind of preparation, yeah, it can be done. It's a straightforward no-brainer. If you want to do an impact assessment, let me do my quarterly, half-yearly myself, but I want to see like every month, I want to do a couple of tests to my students, 25 mark, and see how they perform, which includes objective and descriptive. 2 questions on descriptive on HOTS area, higher order thinking skills, and then lower order thinking skills questions, and then see how the kids are performing in that, and then increase your performance or your blueprint of your question paper accordingly, right? That can be done. Just objective alone, you can take up objective and 2. If you want to do complete AI assessments through grade 1 to grade 12, you can do that as well. So all you need to do it is, this is a streamlined process that I am showing you. It has come a long way. You have your blueprint and exam plan. Question paper and answer key is inbuilt in our system. We give you question paper, CBSE style, the competency based question paper with lots and HOTS classification we give to you. This has been curated over the years, and this is according to your mode pattern. What happens here is that why we are doing this. For every question there has to be an answer key that you normally prepare and you keep it, right? All these answer keys are a repository for us. So we are the only company which has a descriptive answer key repository in the country, with the rubric scheme. So this is a very detailed rubric scheme with exactly point by point answers, and these pointers are mapped with the rubric. 0.5 mark कौन सा point को देना है, 0.5 mark goes to, so exactly a CBSE pattern. So this is there in the repository. We give you question paper. Now school say, hey, I don't want your question paper, I want to use my own question paper, my own answer key. Feel free to use it. We will configure and give it to you. So this is a way that we give you flexibility that you can use the application and take the question papers and use it. Or if you want to build your own question paper, your own answer key, let us know. We'll just add it and give it to you, or you can add it yourself in a self-service model as well. Once you do that, you go conduct the exam in the classroom. No change. The basic guidelines are given to the student with respect to roll number, writing question number on the left-hand side of the margin, leaving one line. So these are basic guidelines that you follow day in and day out. And once the test is being taken, scan and upload those in a simple full duplex scanner, which will scan both sides of the paper, 40 to 50 pages in a minute, and then it will convert into a PDF. Once it's uploaded into the cloud, no new infra is needed, your results will be graded, and then you get to see the insights. So what are we doing here? We are trying to reduce a teacher's time spent in building a question paper, conducting the exam, scanning those answer papers and all those things. We give you enough time, 35 to 40% of your time back, to focus on the remedials, focus on the insights. You now know that I have taken photosynthesis. How did the kids understood now? Let me focus on what points did not they understood. Let me identify the teaching methodologies that are needed to cover that up. And Madam talked about the behavioral patterns. You will see a lot of behavioral pattern in this, that whenever I go and do a pilot, with learning gaps, I do find behavioral gaps also. Kids will not write roll numbers. Kids will, you tell 100 times they will not write. Why is that kid is not able to understand? That needs a different way to understand what is the problem there on behavior. So we do identify behavioral patterns as well. Numbers will not be written like numbers. Kids might not write 1 as 1. They draw a flower for 1. I have seen those in answer papers. But those are it cannot be graded, by the way. It doesn't understand. But those are inputs back to the teacher that there is a problem with the class. You probably figure out why this kid is happening. Here's a simple process video. I'll quickly tell you how this whole process works. The student handwritten answers. When you take the test in the, so this is a simple scanner. As I said, you can scan 40 to 50 pages in a minute, and then if you have 300, 400 pages put together, it's going to just scan it and give you the PDF. There is no intelligence here. It's a store-bought scanner. It will do its job. That's it. Once it is there, then you upload those into the cloud. We identify every student by the roll number that they have written, and this is an interesting step. Every question is being segmented. So now, when we software segment every question, student A, question number 5, how he has performed. All the students in the class, question number 5, how they have performed. You can view from a single shot. Now that, as a teacher, will tell you that here is a problem with this particular question. I'm running fast given time constraint. So now this is the important step here. Once you have identified every question, we now extract the handwritten to digital. Okay, this is very important step. We extracted the image to digital. Once you have extracted the image to digital, then the grading happens. So here is a simple question, and then here is how the rubrics are being configured point by point. There is verbatim, there is compulsory, all these permutations, combinations that comes in a regular classroom scenario, it is being covered already. And then once the student answer is there, you extract it, then you grade using AI. So we look at, as I said, intent, meaning and context. So you have an answer key which has 4 different points. Now out of these 4 different points, we are interested to know, the kid can write 2 pages, 1 page, half a page, or crisply the 4 points. We are interested to know only which are the points they are covering and which are the points they are not covering. Does it make sense? What do you get after this? You get to see point by point which are the points that are covered by the kids, which are the points that are not covered. So if you look at this particular question, point number 1, 2 and 5 is something that kids have problem. They are not able to articulate this. By the whole answers that they have written, 3 and 4 and 6 is where majority of them have covered. So now it's important input for you that, okay, forget about 3, 4, 6, they are covering it, but आप point 1 and 2 पे focus कीजिए. Okay? So there is so much of content, but I will run through it quickly.
Hello, this is Monish Shera, one of the promoters of Vidyananda Educational Society, which was established in 2001. We currently own and manage 3 branches in Hyderabad, namely DPS Hyderabad, Secunderabad and Miapur, with a capacity of over 12,000 students, 1,400 faculty and staff. Our schools offer a high-quality CBSE curriculum, and our unwavering commitment to excellence has paved the way for an exciting journey of growth and advancement. In line with this progress, we've recently forged a partnership with SmartDays, an innovative edtech startup employing AI for grading services. SmartDays AI solution, called DeepGrade, grades handwritten descriptive answers of students based on meaning, context and intent. In phase 1, we've implemented for over 100 students in 6th and 7th grade at DPS Kajagoda. This yielded several benefits, including time saved through AI grading, as DeepGrade automates the grading process for both subjective and objective answers, enhancing teacher productivity to govern other tasks. DeepGrade's AI-powered data analytics improve learning outcomes by identifying learning gaps where educators can make data-driven decisions to better support the student's individual academic performance. DeepGrade also facilitates the creation of question repositories, making it easier for educators to design assessments and track the students' progress over time. Our schools plan to implement DeepGrade for more classes over time. Recognizing the potential of AI.
Given time, just a few more minutes. So here's a quick case study. This is a school in Karnataka, which is a CBSE largest chain of schools. They have implemented this from grade 4 to grade 10. 2,000 students overall. So English, Math, Science and Social Science, they have been using this for a while now. So onboarding time for a school takes just 2 to 3 weeks. Once we come, give you teacher orientation, student orientation, and then the students write 1 or 2 practice tests for the guidelines. They know exactly what needs to be done. And remaining is focusing more time for the educator to understand how the graded results work. Now, are there not any challenges? Yeah, there are quite a few challenges. Number first is that
Traditionally, we have been doing correction by hand. Now, suddenly you say that AI is going to do. Now, there will be a lot of questions, lot of inertia among your teachers. They will not say, "No, aisa nahi hota hai. I want a rating in the paper." It doesn't work. So, workflow understanding itself will be there. Graded score variation. Will there not be any mark variation? Yes, definitely there will be graded score variation. The teacher normally adds motivational marks. AI does not know whose paper it belongs to. It just looks at the answer key and then it says here is what it is covered, here is what it is not covered. So we give flexibility for the teachers to go modify it if they need it, but we are more interested towards the insights that we provide rather than marks. So there is flexibility for educators to modify, but scoring variation, AI, what we have seen is that we are 10% or 15% stricter than what a normal teacher will correct. But that's not what we are offering. What we are telling is that it's more for you to look at your insights. Question paper customization, that's because the lots and hots will vary. Only this report I have. Otherwise the whole session will not make. So once you grade, what you get to see is very important. Just 2 or 3 slides I'm going to, please look at this, very important. So after you have graded and you got the result, you get to see that out of your question paper, the ones that are top in the green are attended by every kid and scored well. The one that is in red is attended by every kid and not scored well. The one that is in this box, it is not there in this case, but that's something like the yellow one is something in the top left hand corner that you see is something that kids have not attended itself or they have not gotten it right. Okay. Now what happens here is that when you get in this red questions is what I'm showing you. These are all your HOTS question or analysis question. So this is the pattern. When we do it in your school, you will know that analysis and HOTS question is where the problem is. Kids are struggling. If you take question number 12, now you get to see these 4 answer key points. The first thing that you see is that point number 1 and point number 3, every kid in the class understands and they are able to articulate. Point number 2 and 4 is the difficulty. Now you get in further, you get to see here is the student answer and here is the covered point and not covered point. You get to see what the kid has covered, what the kid has not covered, along with spelling and grammatical error. That varies from kid to kid. Now again the same answer, a different kid writing it in a lengthier manner or his own representation, again he has not covered 2 points. So by and large what you get to see is that per question level you get to see what are the points they have covered, what are the points they have not covered. Further, you get to see Bloom's classification, what is exactly happening there, where is the kid, where is the class suffering. Here in this example, the analysis is where the struggle is. 2 mark, 4 mark, 5 mark, the struggle is chapter number 13 level. So you can go to a chapter level and identify which chapter is the real bothering, which is bringing the scores down. And then what you see here is basically all these dots are student dots. All these are student. Now you get a classic view saying that I want to focus on these 0 to 20 who are there and probably go to the subject level. You get to see how they have performed in each chapter. Even a topper might struggle in one particular chapter. Even an average student might do good in one particular chapter. But you get to see a holistic view here and then you decide where is the problem and then you can plan the remedies. So I will stop here. If there are, I will take 1 or 2 questions if there is a question and then I will stop it. I'm done. So if there are any questions?
In the first 10 days to 12 days, the teacher realizes where each child is. Is it not so? Every teacher, intelligent teacher will realize, ये बच्चा किस level पे है, ये बच्चा किस level पे है. She can divide them into groups. And we do not give lined paper, we give plain paper and thick crayons, Camlin Jumbo crayons. Thick ones, yes, because they grip fast. You do not give a thick crayon to a baby, to a child. He cannot grip it, so you give thick crayons and plain paper and then let them scribble and let them write their A's. And you, out of those papers, you realize who can write A and who cannot write A. And you divide them into groups. Tomorrow, this group will again try to write A. And this group will go further on. Are you understanding? Is it possible? It is very much possible. So you can find in the same class, and it is allowed, we have done it, we have experimented, it works. There are 4 groups and the 4 groups are writing something different. And then you slowly bring them up to one same level. That is the responsibility of every school. Number 2.
Even NCF has break down L1, L2 and 3. 3 languages. L1 is the mother tongue of the child. Again, school says, speak in English, I will not answer otherwise. What is this? So the child wants to go to the loo, he's so scared he doesn't say anything. You know, because he has to speak in English and he doesn't know English. It's like you telling me to give me my speech in French. I cannot do it. Why don't we realize it? Speaking in English is not the criteria of education. We have to start with the mother tongue. And I'm so proud and happy to see that NCF has agreed with us. Child education starts with the mother tongue because then he understands what I'm telling him. And then slowly, a child is capable of learning 3 languages. So the second language becomes English and the third language becomes the language of the region. Telugu, Marathi, whatever it is. And it is possible for a child at that stage to be able to learn 3 languages. So what do? You move slowly now. Kela, banana, keli, Marathi is keli. You understand? Move together. Now, you talk in English, but scaffold it with the mother tongue. We call it scaffolding. Okay? You want to go to the toilet, so the child will say, teacher, toilet jana hai. Say it in English with him. Say, आपको toilet जाना है? May I go to the washroom? मुझे toilet जाना है? May I go to the washroom? Repeat. It is possible. I'm very sure of that. Okay? And the next thing is, our basic education is not connected to life at all. Math means math की book में class में है. Math is everywhere. The neck of my dress is V. It's a triangle. This table is a rectangle. The door is a rectangle. Can we teach like that? Can we connect education to life? A pizza is a circle. When you cut it, it turns into triangle. Your mummy's bindi is a circle. Your daddy's car tire is a circle. The clock on the wall is a circle. The plate food is a circle. Can we teach like that? And education will go home. And then the child will start from there and start spotting out. मम्मी ये सर्कल है, टीचर ने बताया. ये प्लेट है ना, ये सर्कल है. We need to take education to life. It is surprising that in a country like America, there is a huge river called the Mississippi. I'm sure you know its percentage. I'm sure everybody knows that there is a big Mississippi river, just like हमारी गंगा है. It flows through a lot of states. A child who had a stream flowing at the back of his house came up to grade 7 learning about the Mississippi, did not know that it was flowing beyond his home. In America. So education needs to be linked to life. Children should know what they are learning, why they are learning, and how it will help in their life. We need to do that. My daughters asked me, physics पढ़ाया था किस लिए? Statistics पढ़ाया था किस लिए? क्या किया? Thank you.
So that's really some deep insights into how we can change the classroom dynamics. And I'd like to put the next question to Mr. K. Chanda. So students come to school without adequate foundational, foundation of literacy or numeracy in their early years. So what are the common problems faced in the middle school or in the years henceforth due to the lack of right foundation of literacy and numeracy in the early years? So if you could enlighten us.
Thank you. We have had this system of 3 plus 5.
Learn a language, and your environment, of course, plays a huge role. Here, when I say environment, school, of course, is a big player out here. And I think, when it comes to India, we mostly know our native tongue. We know Hindi and we also know English. So in a way we are a little adept. Our children are kind of already used to several languages. So yes, I think I would agree with you that, children won't really have a problem picking a language if taught the right way. Well, the next question would be for Dr. Shahnaz Ahmed. Ma'am, NCF suggests that classrooms for young children, should be vibrant and full of life. And of course, children enjoy learning through several ways, be it talking, listening, using toys, music, working with material, painting, drawing, etc., etc. So, as teachers, we see that we use all these ways to work with our children. So, in fact, I've also come across many students doing art integrated projects in mathematics. And that's a huge shift, in the entire teaching learning process. So, ma'am, could you please suggest more methods or pedagogy to lay a strong foundation for numeracy skills in foundation years?
Good afternoon, everybody. This is a post-lunch session. And I think it's going to be the most boring one because after lunch everybody wants to sleep. I was myself sleeping there, but when Naik sir and Mr. Aslam had started with all the sessions, I was awake. This is a very important question. Now let me tell you one thing. Children are children. Whatever was there which we taught about, my career as a teacher started about 30 years back. And I have been carrying on teaching small kids to the middle, to the senior ones. But the most beautiful teaching that can happen is with the kids, with the primary classes and the pre-primary classes, because they're adaptable to everything that we teach. Now let me tell, as ma'am has said, they come from different kind of homes. So if we only stick to one way of teaching, we'll be doing a lot of harm to them. This integration that you're talking about, of different subjects into mathematics, I believe, or I think, it should be very relevant to which can cater to everybody. In my school, I tell my teachers, pick up those chapters which the students can pick up, which the students can understand. For example, if there is a chapter on shopping, which deals up with a lot of mathematics, so take out those chapters and let them talk, let them find out, let one be a shopkeeper, let him start talking with each other, let him understand the value of money, and this is how you will bring this kind of teaching to them. Because this is a very young age, and those are the words they really pick up. Now when we talk about, for example, colorful learning or whatever you call a vibrant classroom, especially in the pre-primary section, that is the preparatory classes, I believe that the students must be exposed to such beautiful colors that it gets imprinted in their mind, because few primary colors that they will pick up will reflect on them all their life. So that ones and the twos and the threes and the fours must be taught in such a way that they remain in their mind forever. The classification of the colors, the finding out, or I will say identifying the colors, the patterns, right from childhood, right from 3 years onwards. It is very important. Now, those who are Maria Montessori trained here, see, ma'am, I'll tell you, Maria Montessori said that learning happens in the womb of a mother. So by the time the child, what you are saying is in class 2, that is 8 years or 7 years, something like this, the child's curiosity is at its highest. So let this curiosity not die. Let the teachers find out all different kind of methods that will help them to develop their mind. Now we have also tried one method that is a level teaching which ma'am was talking about, and we have also found out if a child in class 2 or 3 have not understood the mathematical part well, let them again go back to the lower KG or the upper KG, identifying the alphabet, the numbers, listening to the sound of the numbers. The class did not be segregated, but those kind of things, that recapitulation should start again. So these are the small methods which the teachers, because they are small children, all kinds of methods can be used with them. We cannot only say that this is the method that we are going to do it. So like when you say art integrated, for example, chapters on the predecessors and successors, ascending, descending, all these numbers can be taught by the lessons, prefixes, suffixes, all those kind of things. So these will help the teachers and the students to pick up. Now, as I was observing all the games and the songs and the rhymes that are going on, so let us stop with the Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. We'll go with the rhymes 1, 2, 3, 4 about the birds, about the stars, about. As I was just sitting, I was thinking about one poem. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That wondering capacity of the child can start like a diamond in the sky. So the child can be taught in a way what are the sizes and shapes, and let us start these kind of methods with the students. The accuracy that is required in teaching for these students is very important, because this is the time when we will teach them how to get. Otherwise, see, if we were not accurate, we would not have landed on the moon that well. We were all waiting at 6:04 whether the weather will land, Chandrayaan 3 will land or not, but one wrong step would have taken it this side. So let us take the right step for the students, because we will prepare them not only for Chandrayaan 3, by the time they will go to Venus and the Pluto 4, 5, 6, everything. So the accuracy is very much needed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. It's indeed very true that, teaching young learners through the prism of thematic learning is very important in today's day and age, because new methodologies have come out, and it's very important to explore what would be best in our context and in our milieu. Thank you very much. I thank each one of our distinguished panelists for enlightening us with their insights. Thank you very much. I'm sure that we leave with a lot of takeaways. Thank you.